Hey folks, thank you very much for tuning in. My name's YellowHat and today we're continuing our gun guide series where we go over all the stats and quirks of each weapon in Pavlov VR. Instead of continuing with the World War II weapons, today we're going to dive into the modern assault rifles of Pavlov, and we're going to start with arguably one of the best weapons in the game, the M4. The M4 is one of the best weapons in Pavlov and it's a weapon you should absolutely learn. But why? In order to answer that, we're going to take a look at its stats, how it fits into the economy, and how you should best use this weapon. So, let's start with the M4 stats. The M4 deals a base damage of 20, meaning that it is a 5-hit kill to an unarmored player. The armor damage of this weapon is 45, meaning that it takes 3 hits to strip a player's armor off. The armor penetration of this weapon is 100%, meaning that the M4 will retain its 5-hit kill value to armored players. The helmet damage is 100, meaning that the M4 will take a player's helmet off in 1 hit. The helmet penetration, however, is 75%, meaning that it will take 2 hits to the head to kill a player wearing a helmet, and to a full health player, the M4 will deal 75 damage to them. Lastly, the M4 is affected by damage reductions to the knee and to the foot. Shots that hit below the knee will do 20% less damage, making the M4 a 7-hit kill, and shots that hit the foot will do 50% less damage, making the M4 a 10-hit kill at most. The bullet velocity of the M4 is on the faster side when compared to the other modern weapons, as it's 2,312 feet per second. The magazine capacity of the M4 is 30 rounds plus 1 in the chamber, which is in line with many of the other assault rifles. The M4 has one of the best fire rates for assault rifles in the game, firing at a speed of 800 rounds a minute. This effectively gives it a body shot time to kill of 370 milliseconds, which is one of the fastest armored time to kill values of all the modern weapons, and the fastest of the assault rifle class. With all those numbers out of the way, let's briefly go over how to reload the M4. With the M4, you must hit the magazine release button on the controller you're shooting with. After that, just take a mag from your pouch and put in the mag and you're all set. If you need to do an empty reload, do the same process and then grab the charge handle, which is on the top of the weapon here. There's a couple more things to look at with the M4 before we talk about how it fits into the search and destroy economy. To start, let's have a look at its recoil patterns and show how the 2 different foregrips affect the M4's recoil. The first 5 bullets of the recoil pattern are mostly vertical. From bullets 6 to 10, they start to kick back and forth. Once you hit bullet 15, the recoil pattern peaks and goes horizontal until the mag is emptied or the recoil is reset. When comparing the different recoils, I find that it's best to use the angled grip. This is because the angled grip reduces horizontal recoil the most, and in Pavlov, it's more difficult to control horizontal recoil than vertical recoil. Plus, the angled grip has less of a kill bonus reduction than the vertical grip, so it's better for controlling your recoil and your economy. Speaking of economy, let's talk about how the M4 fits into the search and destroy economy. The M4 is the most expensive of the ARs as its price is $2,700. The M4 yields a base kill bonus of $300, which matches all the other assault rifles. Knowing this, let's answer the question of when can you actually buy the M4? The absolute minimum price you can buy an M4 with armor is $33.50. But I wouldn't advise this unless you're absolutely strapped for cash and it's a last-ditch effort. Even then, there are better buying options with this amount of money. Against other M4s and ARs, besides the AK-47, you should always be buying a helmet. This means that the absolute minimum price required for an M4 and a helmet is $3,700. The most common configuration of attachments on an M4 has a red dot and an angled grip on the weapon, which is an $800 investment and brings the M4's kill bonus down to $50 a kill. This means that in order to kit an M4 with these 2 attachments and buy armor and a helmet, you need $4,500. With all these different monetary values out of the way, the question now becomes, when should I buy an M4? I recommend buying the M4 when you and your team are economically stable and you have over $4,000. In reality, you should have closer to $5,000 to account for grenades, as you should never not have some bit of utility. Ideally though, the M4 should pretty much always be bought with an armor and helmet. So, what are my overall thoughts on the M4? It's a meta-defining weapon, and it's a top-tier weapon that any Pavlov VR player should learn. On a higher level, time should be spent mastering this weapon's recoil pattern every day. The M4 is arguably the best all-around weapon, as it's a good choice in pretty much any situation. It can handle close-range engagements with its good DPS, and it can keep up at longer ranges as well. The M4 has a manageable recoil that, at least in the first 5 to 10 shots, is pretty easy to learn. Overall, I can't really think of any cons that the M4 has. It might not have the easiest to control recoil or the absolute highest DPS, but the M4 excels in the fact that it's consistent, and it's never a bad choice if you end up with one. With all that said, I'm going to leave you all with a little something different. With the modern weapons, I want to show you how these are used in the SND meta, and so now I'm going to leave you with all a round from a 10-man friendly consisting of all VR League players and ringers, so you can see how certain weapons are used at a higher level. Anyways, enjoy this round.
They almost have a glitch where they go to the upgrade page and it doesn't like reshuffle after you've bought something.
Oh, can you
Like I'll
upgrade
buy
them?
an angle grip and it'll still show it there.
Can you buy a second angle grip?
I don't know. It goes away if I try. Oh, I pushed upward. He's dead. Yeah, I was testing to see what I'm stop shooting.
I traded with Boris. Driver got me today.
There's one church, Komori maybe. Seems to be jiggly.
4-3.
I think you should go A.
Mid,
I think you
top
should.
mid. And church. Oh, behind us. Upper.
Oh, driver.
Behind us, upper, you said?
Yep.
Nice job.
Nice job.
Driver had a really good flank there.
I hope you all enjoyed watching that round of SND. If there were any stats that you didn't see covered that you'd like to see, please let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know what weapon you want to see next. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you learned something useful from this video. If you did, and if you liked the video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to keep up to date with when I upload. Be sure to also check out my social links in the description below. Thank you again for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take it easy.